Each week, Dave Campbell's Texas Football recognizes the teams delivering standout performances across the state with the Dave Campbell's Team of the Week, presented by Casey's. For 14 weeks, 7 deserving teams across Texas classifications will earn Team of the Week honors for their performance on the field. Think your team deserves the spotlight? Visit TexasFootball.com to learn more and to nominate your team for the Dave Campbell's Team of the Week. It's not crazy, it's Casey's.
Should that light be on?
Great.
Whoa there! Your ride is your steed. Your horsepower deserves Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where every oil change includes an 18-point maintenance check. Done by techs with eyes like an eagle and hands like a human. So stay in your saddle. Be back on the trail in about 15 minutes. Wise move, compadre.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
This episode of Tap and Step is presented by Cover Zero Analytics, the leaders in next-level football data. Cover Zero delivers predictive matchup previews, classification-based grading, and customized analysis to football coaches who want more than the same old breakdown of tendencies. With Cover Zero, football coaches now have a tool that can measure all aspects of their team's performance. Cover Zero is built entirely around smarter data analysis, helping thousands of coaches find winning edges that don't always appear in film study. If you're a football coach looking for an extra advantage, Cover Zero invites you to join the hundreds of premier programs that have taken their scouting intel to the next level. Ready to see how the best teams win? Start with Cover Zero Analytics. Find out more at coverzeroanalytics.com. That's coverzeroanalytics.com.
Why don't you say that again so that V&A doesn't talk over the cold open?
I was going to say something funny.
And here with something funny is V&A Moreno.
Week 1.
That's way better than what I was going to say.
Tap and Step, your premium Texas high school football podcast from your friends at Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. I am the Tep, Greg Tepper.
And I'm the Stepp, Matt Stepp.
Thank you for being with us on this high holy holiday. That's right. It is Texas high school football season.
We're back. We're so back.
I was talking about this with a friend. Is this the most back anyone's ever been?
Oh, my God.
You know, we're journalists here. At our core, we are journalists.
Truth tellers.
And we've done the research and we've done the homework, and I don't think anyone's ever been as back as we are right now.
There are 700, I have the number, I tweeted it, like 760-something Texas high school football games this weekend. 760.
I can verify that because I went through a lot of them last night for reasons we won't talk about on the air.
You've been updating our databases and stuff like that, something like that.
I get back from vacation, and it's like, here, you just shove me against the wall and
I
said,
did.
I've got work for you to do.
I did. As you can tell by our you know, how much I go to the gym versus how much Stepp goes to the gym. I was the one shoving him against the wall. Yeah. Somebody who shoves us both against the wall and tells us what to do is our producer, V&A Moreno. Hello, V&A Moreno.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Happy week 1. Happy football season.
Happy week 1.
Because, folks...
Did you get a window in there, or is there a light in there?
So, we currently have...
Oh, you're just going to...
There's light right there. We have... the cover is down. It melted off because of the Texas heat.
No, it melted off because the takes were too hot.
Yeah, it melted off because our preseason takes were just...
That's right. It's too much.
Fire.
It's too much.
Scorching up in here.
This is your week one preview edition of Tap and Step. We do thank you for spending part of your day with us. Make sure, if you're watching us on YouTube, please go subscribe to the podcast. Just search it on your
Spotify, whatever platform you use.
Apple. You're a filthy Android user. Even you can listen to podcasts.
Yeah, Spotify works on Android.
There you go.
What a ringing endorsement for Spotify.
I'm just saying. Well, also, like I think they've got like Google Play podcasts or something like that.
No, I think
Spotify's great.
I think Google Play went away.
Oh well, never mind then. Yeah. Wherever you get your podcasts, go to
Just
look for
listen,
Tap and Step.
He would know he's an Android user.
That's right.
And then subscribe to us, TexasFootball.com.
Yeah.
Like go to TexasFootball.com, mash that subscribe button, support
Mash.
the work that your heroes here at Dave Campbell's do. Not just us. We're just part of a heroic team here at Dave Campbell's.
Coming up in just a minute, the return of the Week 1 game draft.
A tradition unlike any other.
It's the first game draft. It's the first game draft since December 6th.
Wow.
Now maybe
is regional final the last game draft?
Regional finals the last game draft, which means that our last game draft was back in December. We recorded on December 1st.
Yeah.
When we recorded. So it's the game draft. And if you don't know what that means, we'll explain it to you. Mm-hmm. But first, Matthew, we will start as we always do with your Texas high school football fun fact of the week, presented
Boom.
by Cover Zero Analytics. If you think we're fired up about Week 1, their football pants are going crazy.
Yeah. Jacob McNeil called me, and it was almost borderline obscene how fired up he was.
He is that guy loves football. I think I love football. Brother, those guys at Cover Zero Analytics.
I almost had to file charges for football harassment.
It was a lot of football from Jacob McNeil and those boys at Cover Zero Analytics. Mm-hmm. You know why? It's because they dig so deep into the data that they are finding those things, those little nuggets about your high school football team and your opponents, and figuring out exactly how you're going to win on Friday night. They're obsessed with it.
They are. And you know what? While I was on vacation, I went to have hibachi. And you know what the first thing I thought about was?
How we've ruined their entire reputation.
I can't eat hibachi without thinking about Cover Zero now because of the onion volcano. So thank you, Cover Zero Analytics. You've ruined onion volcanoes for me.
Cover Zero Analytics, or they've enhanced onion volcanoes for you.
I mean, it's true. I'm
how often were you
down how many onions the chef is using to make the vol. Oh, he only used 8 onions that time. Oh, he could
be
probably
like Jacob wouldn't stand for this. Yeah. Cover Zero Analytics can take your high school football team to the next level. Go check them out, coverzeroanalytics.com. Tell them Tap and Step sent you. Yes. And when you do, they will give you like a free demo. They'll show you everything.
Yeah, if
They'll
you're a coach, go to coverzeroanalytics.com. They will show you the light.
They'll show you the light. Yeah. And maybe they will maybe they'll give you a hibachi tour of some kind. I don't know. This metaphor is falling apart. It's coverzeroanalytics.com. Cover Zero. They ruined onion volcanoes for Matt Stepp. Thanks, Cover Zero. Mm-hmm. Matt Stepp, your Texas high school football fun fact of the week. It's Week 1. Everyone's 0-0.
Everyone's undefeated.
Everyone's undefeated. But also, not everybody, because there were TAPS games this past weekend. Okay.
All due respect.
Of last year, of the 10 UIL 11-man reigning state champs, from the 2024 state champs.
Okay.
How many lost their Week 1 game? So how many defending state champs started last year 0-1?
DeSoto. Smithson Valley. I'm going to say Smithson Valley. No, Carthage didn't lose.
You're running through who went 16-0. Like, I'll give you a hint. Wall did not lose, because Wall did not lose a game.
Yeah. Well, Wall wasn't defending champs last year.
They weren't defending champs. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah. I'm going to say 3.
The correct answer, Matthew, is 2.
Is it just okay? DeSoto's 1.
DeSoto lost to Creekside, Georgia, and we sat on this podcast and said,
had concerns.
"What's wrong with DeSoto?" And then
They figured it out.
A few months later,
It took them a little while.
It did.
They figured out.
They started 0-2.
Yeah, they lost to North Crowley. Played much better in that second game.
Yes.
But I think they figured out eventually that let's just build the whole plane out of Surratt Baker
Correct.
and Booby Feaster, and it worked
Good idea.
out great.
The other one, not Simpson Valley.
Oh,
The North Shore Mustangs lost their opener to the mighty South Oak Cliff Golden Bears.
wait. So is it?
Who was the reigning 2024 state champs? Wait,
North Shore
I'm
didn't
sorry.
win in 2024.
Why do I have that wrong? I'm sorry, in my face. You're right. I apologize. I think it's one.
It's just DeSoto.
Just DeSoto.
Okay.
DeSoto lost to Creekside.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
There you go. In my face.
I guess Smithson Valley lost to.
That's right, because North Shore wasn't the reigning champs, but they did lose in week 1. They lost South Oak Cliff.
Yes, they did lose.
That's
in week
what
one.
I got
Yeah,
confused
yeah.
with. Anyway, what a fun way to kick off the season.
So it's week 1 for us too.
Thanks, Cover Zero Analytics.
You know, how there's a lot of penalties in week 1. That's a penalty.
They would never let that happen.
No.
That's why I just need to get my fun facts from Jacob. Thanks, Cover Zero Analytics. All right, Matthew. Let's recap last week. All right, we're done. It's time for the week 1 game draft. We are back, baby. And there are, as I mentioned, more than 760 Texas high school football games scattered across the state. And we are here to predict and preview every single one of them.
Yeah.
So we will start.
Let's start. El Paso Irvin versus Clint.
Let's go.
Let's go. I don't know playing, but
All right. This is the way if this is your first episode of Tep and Step, hello.
It's somebody's
everyone's
first.
Everyone's first. Hi. The way we preview each week.
welcome to Tep and Step Tuesday.
It is. It's Tep and Step Tuesday. We go back and forth drafting games that we are most interested in watching.
Most interested in.
The most interested. That is the phrase that pays. What games are we most interested in? It can be for any reason. It doesn't have to be the 10 best games of the week, quote unquote, right? Or the 10 most exciting, or the 10 most evenly matched. We can just pick whichever games we're most interested in.
The whole state is our oyster.
Correct. That's the fun part about working at Dave Campbell's is that we can pick any darn game we want. And so Matt Stepp will go back and forth selecting 5 games each.
So I could pick any game I want.
Matt Stepp, you could pick any game you want.
So I could pick San Antonio Edison and San Antonio Lee.
You absolutely could.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That might be pick 1-1. We'll go back and forth 5 rounds, and then we'll return the hipster game of the week.
Ah, yes.
That's right. That's a game that's a little bit off the beaten path, a game that maybe you're not paying attention to, but again, for some reason that we will explain, you should be interested in. So that's what the game draft is. We did a fake coin flip before the show. Stepp won the fake coin flip, which means that Matt Stepp gets the first pick
1-1, huh?
in the 2026 Texas high school football season with the week 1 game draft. Matt Stepp, any and all
This is
games
hard.
are available to you.
This is
You
tough.
can pick, let me see, look down here. You can pick Cy Ridge and Aldine MacArthur.
Thank you. Okay.
It is available to you.
It is. It is if I wanted to.
That is a fact.
I'm not going to pick that game.
Okay.
Tepper, I'm going to go Friday night, 7 o'clock at Panther Stadium in Prairie View. A rematch of a state championship game last year as the defending 5A Division II state champions South Oak Cliff Golden Bears head down to PV to take on the 2024 5A Division II state champions who have now moved to Division I, the Richmond Randall Lions, who don't have as far to travel.
It's a rubber match.
It is. This is the rubber match. You've got they split the state championship meetings, and so let's get after it and figure it out and settle it, so to speak. Even though they'll play again next year.
Before you get into this, let's just take a moment. I love that this game is happening. I love it.
It's great.
I
It's
love
awesome.
that these two coaches looked at each other and were just like, "Look, we can't play each other again in the state championship. There's no point in
if
avoiding
they play in the
each
state
other."
championship game, it'd be the biggest story in Texas.
It
high
would
school
be. It
history.
would be. The UIL would have collapsed under its own weight
yeah.
at that point. That's the thing that I think is great is that they were just like, you know what? We know we test each other in ways that we need to be tested. And we know Prairie View has been. Tremaine Jackson has been really.
They're fired up to be hosting this.
Yeah,
game.
they've been very forward about saying we want to host more high school football.
It's a
games.
great stadium. I went there
is.
last year. It's a great place to watch a football game. If you're in the area, that's the game. That's a great game to go watch. But if you're in Northwest Houston, Cy-Fair area, Waller, Like, go to this game.
So again, shout out to Jason Todd, shout out to Brian Randall for just making the game happen. Because I think there are some programs that might run from the smoke. And these are two programs that ain't running from the smoke.
So let's talk about South Oak Cliff. And I think the thing about South Oak Cliff is the middle part of their team on both sides of the ball is going to be very strong. Offensive line, defensive line, in the middle of the defensive line, linebacker, safeties, and quarterback. Very, very strong. Jaden Williams is back for his senior season. He had a great junior season. He's working behind an offensive line led by Texas commit Brian Swanson. Defensive line, you've got Cal commit Jadarian Jones in the defensive line. You got a junior linebacker, Cody Smith, who was a breakout star last year as a sophomore. SMU commit Isaiah Udom in the secondary. The middle of the defense is going to be great. But Sock's got questions. And it's primarily on the edges. Corner, wide receiver, running back. Huge question marks. They don't have anyone who had any varsity production back. They were senior heavy at all those positions in even their depth. I think the player with the most returning yardage is a running back who had like 100 yards last year. Oh, Brett dropped something.
Hey,
what is Brett doing out there?
Hey,
we're recording a podcast.
We're recording
here,
a premium podcast.
What is Brett doing? Like, come on.
Anyway, go on.
What are those sales?
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
I think you know what I think those are. I'm not kidding.
Those are trophies?
I think they're giant checks. I'm not kidding. I think they're giant checks.
Yeah.
I wish I had the studio.
Like some
camera
of our sponsor activations. Like that's great. Anyway, go.
I need Adam to do my check this month in one of those and take a picture with it.
Friday is payday.
Yeah.
What if we walk into the office and there's just like a giant check?
I don't need to do that and take it to the bank. All right, back to football. So those are the Sox got questions, and it's and we saw it in 7-on-7. They struggled a little bit in 7-on-7 because they just don't have experience at the skill spot. So who's going to be that guy who can take the top off the defense? Who's that guy that can make that big play, big run, that type of thing?
I know they've got some candidates they're excited about, but
They're young.
none of them are like proven.
Yeah. You got Randall. Randall brings back 7 starters on both sides of the ball. And if you want to talk about a guy who can take the top off the defense, have you met Landon Williams Callis?
I actually have.
The Texas commit is undeniably one of the most exciting players in the state and one of the most productive running backs in the state. I think in this game especially, he's wanting to make a statement because in the 2 matchups against Sock, he's kind of been held in check. Now, he did have a kickoff return for a touchdown in the state championship game last year, but the game
games.
Yeah, the game was pretty much out of reach by the time it happened. So he hasn't really put his stamp on a game against South Oak Cliff because South Oak Cliff, to be honest, has done a great job bottling him up. Now he's working behind what we talked to Coach Brian Randall at coaching school. He says this is the best offensive line that Randall has had since that landed in the last 3 years. It's saying something because they won a state championship in 2024. That's interesting. They've got a great receiver on the outside, Kamar Chavez Brown, a really dynamic weapon. I think the defense is going to be good. UTEP commit Patrick Oliver, Julian Garena in the secondary, Cameron Hypolite at the defensive line. I think they're better there. Linebackers a question mark. The big question on offense for me, who's going to be the quarterback? Who is going to take snaps for Randall in this season opener? They've been very quiet about the quarterback battle. We don't know if they're going to rotate guys, if they settled on a guy. We probably won't know until kickoff how they're going to handle that. So this is an interesting game. I think Landon Williams Callis, he's 100% healthy. He's fresh. He's as fresh as he's been.
Which he definitely was not in 2025.
No, he got banged up in the second round of the playoffs last year and continued to play, but was never himself. He's healthy, ready to go. I think I'm going to go Randall in a little bit of an upset here. I think Landon Williams Callis is the difference in this football game, and I think Randall, especially, it's a tough road trip for Sock. The last time they went to Houston, they played North Shore and got beat pretty bad. I always say this, right? Non-district, if you're traveling over 150 miles, it's really hard to win in non-district. Sock's traveling 200 plus miles for this football game. Randall's got to travel. It's not easy to get from Richmond to Prairie View, but it's not as far as Sock is traveling. So give me Randall in a little bit of an upset here. I'm going to go a close game, but I like Randall.
I'm going to go Sock. I think the offensive line is going to be To me, what Randall has had, and especially in 2024, less so in 2025, they've had Ward Hatties up front, right?
Yeah.
And this year, they've got the Hippolyte kid. Mm-hmm. I don't know how deep they are on the defensive front, and the offensive line with Brian Swanson and company, like they're going to eat. That offensive line, I think, has a chance.
They
to be
completely
really good.
dominated last year.
Yes, and that's the thing. Between that and having Jaden Williams back, I think that's the difference. And the other thing about it, you mentioned Chavez Brown on the outside. They have to find a complementary threat for Williams Callis, because you cannot hand him the ball 45 times a game. Like, you could, and he'd run for 260 yards, but like, you're not going to win that game very. Eventually, a good defense like South Oklahoma is going to bottle you up. Mm-hmm. I want to see, because I know I'm a broken record. People who've listened to me talk, which is too many of you guys. I maintain the reason they won the state championship in 2024 is because of Keelan Sweeney, right? Because they had the secondary threat besides Williams Callis. Mm-hmm. Last year, I just don't think they had it, at least in the title game.
No.
They didn't have it in the title game. They've got to find a secondary threat. It's week 1. They can find a secondary threat in week 6. But like, for now, I think I like South Oklahoma in a close one. But I agree. I think that's the game of the week. Fantastic. I'm going to stay in that part of the world. Kind of. Although I'm going to go to the other side of Houston. 7 o'clock, Friday night, in Galveston County at Sam Vitanza Stadium in Dickinson.
I heard that game's going to be on the air somewhere.
It is
interesting.
The world premiere of Dave Campbell's Friday Night Football presented by Huntington Bank. It is a top 15 showdown in 6A as the undefeated Fort Bend Ridgepoint Panthers take on the undefeated Dickinson Gators. True facts.
We're journalists here.
In a game that, even if it weren't, and people are going to say, oh, you're only picking that because you're broadcasting. That is true. And also,
it's still a really good game.
Really good game. Yeah. Really good game.
Excellent matchup in the Houston area.
Absolutely. And I am fascinated by this matchup because I think both these teams feel like they could be ready for the big step. Okay? Especially, I look at Dickinson. Mm-hmm. Quarterback Lorenzo Aguirre is back.
3-year starter.
3-year starter, threw for like 3,800 yards last year. This guy, I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's because like he's on like the opposite side of Houston from like where all those power players like from
Dickinson
East Houston.
Kind of gets lost in the shuffle down there in Galveston County a little bit. Yeah,
but man, he's been so good for 3 years.
Yeah,
he's been great. And between him, they got Jamarian Payne. I think could have a breakout year for them, and defense, especially up front. Okay.
Dickinson's defense is going to be really good.
Chase Lewis up front, leading the way, a 4-year starter up front. Now, let's talk about Ridgepoint. Here's the highest compliment I could pay to this Ridgepoint program. Last year, they signed 9 players to letters of intent. Mm-hmm. 9 to FBS letters of intent. And go talk with Greg Powers. He'll tell you that is still maybe the most loaded program in Texas.
Yeah, they're flush with talent.
Flush. Tons of dudes.
And as long as they're not playing North Shore, they've been really good the last couple of years. They've been dominant.
Now, and it starts for me on the defensive side.
This year, for sure.
This year, their defense is going to be excellent. Braden Bonnick, they got him playing this rover position where he's going to be all over the field. He's their best player. Mm-hmm. He's a lot of fun to watch. They've got another kid whose name I can't find right now. Oh, Dylan Bennett, the middle linebacker spot. He's fantastic. They've got the experience and the speed at every level of the defense. Mm-hmm. They're going to be really fun to watch defensively. Here's the good news on the offense. The good news on the offense is that they bring back a quarterback I really like.
Yeah, he really came into his own last year. You know, there was a quarterback battle going on there at Ridgepoint early in the year.
Brody Bartee.
And Bartee won the job and led him to a 11-1 record.
Did not throw an interception in the regular season. Like, took care of the football, was very, very strong. Here is, to me, where the rubber meets the road.
Okay.
Ridgepoint is more or less fully rebuilding their offensive line.
Yeah, they graduated. Their offensive line was really good.
Really good, and they were almost all seniors.
Yeah, they got gutted.
They bring back their center, who they're now moving over to left tackle, and that I think is it. I think it's 4 more fresh offensive linemen. in week 1 against what looks like it's going to be a ferocious Dickinson defense. I like Dickinson's defense to control the line of scrimmage. I want to see if they can get the ball out quickly. They got some weapons they really like on the outside, including
I love Chase Washington.
Oh yeah, and by the way, they've also got Adrian Peterson Jr.
I meant Chase Washington for Dickinson.
Yes.
They've
got
Ridgepoint has Adrian Peterson.
He's a
Jr.
freshman on the depth chart. We got the depth chart today.
He is.
And I asked Coach LaFavors.
Breaking news.
I mind to tell you, Coach. He's on the depth chart, and I don't mind telling you. I said, okay, he's on the depth chart. There's a difference. You and I have seen the depth charts. There's a difference between being on the depth chart and getting meaningful snaps. And I asked him, when is he going to be ready for meaningful snaps? He goes, Friday. He's going to.
I mean, Ridgepoint's not the kind of program that's going to put a freshman on varsity unless he's going to play.
Yeah.
So if he's listed on the varsity, especially the 2 deep, if he wasn't on the 2 deep, he would be on JV or freshman where he'd play.
I like Dickinson. I think it's going to be I think defenses are going to be the key here. Like both of them, I think both defenses are the prominent pieces, units in this game, and I think they're going to tell it. And I think right now, Dickinson's offense is a little farther along at the moment.
Yeah, I think Dickinson's a little. I would agree with that. I think it's going to be a rock fight, though.
I think so, too.
I think it's going to be a very.
I think if you're looking for like 44-41, you are coming to the wrong place.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
But if you're looking for a lot of humidity,
I'll be in a beautiful air-conditioned press box there at San Vicenza Stadium.
It is going to be steamy night in Dickinson, let me tell you. So.
What is your second pick, Matthew?
7 o'clock Friday night at Eagle Stadium in Allen.
Oh, no. Dude, this is a ludicrous game, the more I think. Like, I kind of forgot this game was happening.
A rematch of last year's 6A Division I state semifinal. The two biggest and baddest programs in the DF, biggest from size-wise, and two of the badder programs in the Metroplex, bad being good. The Duncanville Panthers visiting the Allen Eagles. Both these teams, though, have a new look about them going into the season. And for Allen, I think the word of the day is uber talented but youthful. The Eagles are going to lean on a lot of sophomores this year. That sophomore class they have is absolutely loaded.
I think Allen's. I don't mean to spoil your preview. I think Allen's floor is very high. I think their floor is high because I think that at worst we're going to come away from the season being like they were a year early. Do you know what I mean? Because this team is young.
Sophomore quarterback Ty Snell, sophomore wide receiver Zach Williams, Jaden Davis, the sophomore tight end who started for them as a freshman last year. Defense, Raiden Johnson, the moved in from Vegas, linebacker, absolute stud in that defense. This is a young but ultra talented Allen football team.
Did you mention the defensive end, Jacoby Wilkerson?
Not yet, but he's
not a youngster. I think he's a senior.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a senior.
Holy cow, dude.
He's going to be a senior leader. The secondary, I think, does have some senior leadership. And then Lyndon Spriggs on offense, the running back. They've got a couple of young guys behind him, though, that are really, really talented. The key for Allen's going to be, I think, offensive line. They're going to be inexperienced there, and they're matching up with the Duncanville defensive line that's inexperienced, because Duncanville graduated a unbelievable defensive line last year. So how does that matchup go? Because that was the difference in the football game last year. Duncanville, their defensive line annihilated Allen's offensive line in that state semifinal game, and Allen just couldn't move the football. And eventually, Trenton Yancey and those guys kind of got going and made plays and that kind of thing. So, and Yancey's back, by the way.
Yes, he is.
And he's probably going to be – last year they had to move Yancey around, especially with the quarterback questions. Well, the quarterback question I think is going to be answered. On record, Reginald Samples has not disclosed who the starter is going to be. I'm going to go out on a real thin limb here, not really, and say it's going to be Maximus Denson. Max Denson, who started early in the year, was removed from the team, off the field issues, that kind of thing. It's all worked out. I think he's going to be the guy back. Trenton Yancey, Jairus Ingram, the sophomore receiver, is really, really talented. He's the next kind of, big young receiver coming out of Duncanville. I do think Duncanville's offensive line is going to be better than it was last year. And I think Duncanville is they haven't really had much of a running game since Caden Durham graduated. Duncanville has not had consistency in the running game.
They've had more success throwing the ball, which is crazy to say about a Reginald Samples coach team.
I think we're going to see them get back a little bit back more to their roots. But talking to some people, okay, this is probably the smallest Duncanville team that we've seen
I've heard that
probably
too.
since their samples' first year there. So this is not a Duncanville team that doesn't have questions. They're going to be a little smaller. They're also going to have a couple of key defensive starters who are out for disciplinary reasons. There was a little brouhaha in their scrimmage against Cedar Hill, and a couple starters are going to be suspended for disciplinary issues from this game. So questions here. It's in Allen.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a rowdy crowd.
And let's not forget, there's a time not long ago, I'm old enough to remember, when people didn't win at Allen.
Yes, people still don't win there very often, but I've really gone back and forth in this football game, especially with hearing Duncanville's going to have a couple of starters on the defensive side of the ball out. But Allen's is playing so many sophomores. I think this is going to be a really close football game. I'm going to lean ever so slightly to Duncanville because of the senior experience, but it would not surprise me if we saw this matchup again in December, and I think it's going to look a whole lot different because by then all those sophomores. Allen's going to be starting, I think, 8, 9 sophomores, which for Allen is a crazy number, considering the size of the school. But it just shows you how talented they are, but they're still sophomores. Edge to Duncanville here, just slightly.
I like Allen at home because I think that the thing is, my question is, and I go back to, I know I've said this before, but like, Duncanville, for me, when I think about Duncanville defense, I think about war daddies up front. Like big, just guys who dominate up front. We don't know if they have those right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talking to some guys. It's just scrimmages. We don't make too much.
Right.
Duncanville's had 2 scrimmages, and they haven't looked all that great. It's just scrimmages, but you can at least look at them and be like, oh, they're a little smaller than they have been.
I think that's the thing that's going to be really fascinating about this ballgame is that you've got the Allen offensive line and the Duncanville defensive line, and it's not bad on bad. It is unknown on unknown.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
We're going to learn a ton about that match. Like, it may turn out that Duncanville's got like some junior that we just haven't heard about.
For the past 10 years, they've had that.
Correct.
Right? So
will they have it again? And then also, can the Allen offensive line, which is going to have to grow up in a hurry?
I think Ty Snell, obviously he played a lot as a freshman last year. Now it's his offense. He looked great in 7-on-7, but it's 7-on-7. He doesn't have Duncanville defensive linemen chasing him around. I think if he has a big game, I think Allen wins this football game.
I think so too.
But if he looks like a sophomore in his first start, which is highly likely, especially against Duncanville, I think. So I think
like we liked what we saw from Ty Snell in 7-on-7. But that's 7-on-7.
Yeah.
You don't have a Duncanville guy running you down.
I almost think it seems to simplify this game, but I think the game goes as Ty Snell goes in his first start as a sophomore.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a great game. And like, again, I was focused a lot on getting ready for the broadcast and stuff and thinking of, obviously South Oak Cliff and Randall's a big game. And then I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Allen and Duncanville. Like,
it's a loaded week.
Like, remember,
week 1 is crazy.
Remember in 2018 when this was the passing of the torch moment?
Yes, I was at that game, and it was about 40,000 people were at AT. They had to play. They don't really have non-state games at AT&T Stadium anymore. They had to put this game at AT&T Stadium because it was 40,000 people, and it was the passing of the torch.
And Jaquin Jackson
went off.
Did that thing?
Yeah.
My second pick, Matthew. This is maybe a little off the board, but I love this game. 7 o'clock Friday night at Memorial Stadium in Bay City.
Oh, this is a good one.
It is a matchup of state-ranked powers as the Bay City Black Cats welcome in the Columbus Cardinals in a let's find out a whole lot of things game.
Yeah.
We are going to learn so much about two teams that I think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, I think we think pretty highly of entering 2026.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we're going to learn a lot. It's weird to say we're going to learn a lot about a team that has as many starters back as Columbus does.
And the number one team in the state.
But I think we're going to learn this Bay City team is this is two. Columbus is 3A Division I, and they're punching up 2 divisions here.
Exactly.
And Bay
on
City,
the road,
their team speed gives a lot of people trouble, and it's going to be a huge test for Matt Schobel's veteran defense. So it's going to be interesting
because you mentioned Columbus. That like it's so funny that there are so many different like this. There's a lot of starters back from the Columbus. But they also feel like a brand new ball club because of the quarterback situation.
Yes.
They have a new quarterback. And the quarterback is David James, in from Corpus Christi Miller. His dad was hired as the offensive coordinator. And
his dad is Texas high school football legend Odell James.
Odell James, so
Yeah.
good bloodlines.
Yeah.
And he joins a team that has a terrific offensive line led by Keon Hemphill Woods. They've got the reigning district offensive MVP in Jack Schobel.
Who's moving back to his natural position at receiver.
And you mentioned it. I think their defense is going to be really, really good. I think it's got an opportunity to be the backbone of this Columbus team. But that defense will get a huge test right out of the chute.
Yeah, Bay City presents a lot of matchup problems because of how versatile and how athletic they are.
It starts with Kamarian Wiggins, their quarterback. I just love this kid. Like, early Dudes Rock watch list.
Yeah, I mean, last year he was playing some quarterback, some tailback, some wide receiver. He kind of settled in at quarterback later in the year, and I think he really improved. You know, they played a lot of 7-on-7 this summer, and I think he really improved as a thrower to give that Bay City offense a little bit of balance.
Kamarian, they got Wiggins, they've got Aiden Williams, the running back spot. They have got speed everywhere. This Bay City team is really, really, really fast. And I think they're going to have one of the most dangerous attacks, I think, in 481. They're going to be fun to watch.
Agreed.
There's a ton to break down here because I think that both sides of the ball are absolutely fascinating because we'll find out a ton about how far along is the Bay City defense, which I think is what needs to take the step this year. The defense has got to get better than if they want to get where they want to go. How far along is the David James, getting used to this offense, right? Joining this offense, which does have players, which by the way doesn't have Braylon Fisher.
No, he transferred to his dad is also a coach.
Correct.
He got hired to coach at Barbers
Hill.
Yeah.
So it'll be a new look offense. The other side too is okay, Columbus's defense. We think you're going to be really good. Go prove it against a team that's probably faster than you, right?
Yeah, I usually doubt
you know what I mean?
that, yeah.
There's also the road out. To me, I'll just say this: I like Bay City. I like Bay City because I think on the field they're probably pretty equal. The home field advantage and the size difference.
Yes, and it's week one.
Yeah.
So heat is – listen, breaking news here. It's been hot the last week and a half in Texas,
and
right?
somehow, let me check the weather in base. It's going to be hot.
Yes, and humid.
Yes.
So I think the edge goes to the team with more numbers in Bay City.
I think that's it. But I think it's a fabulous game that I'm going to be really interested in talking to folks at the game and just learn what'd you see? Because even if Columbus goes out there and they lose, maybe this is just me pre-warning you. If they go out there and they lose to Bay City 35-28, don't be surprised if they're still number one.
They're playing two divisions up against, Bay
State ranked
City's
team.
top 15.
Yeah.
Are they top 15 in
I think
the
so,
state?
yeah.
Yeah, 4A Division 1 team. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I like Bay City and Columbus. What is your third pick, Matthew?
7:00 Friday night at Singletary Stadium in Newton, Texas. It is a 409 showdown of two teams who played for a state championship last year as the West Orange Stark Mustangs visit the Newton Eagles.
And two teams that expect to be back there again this year.
Yeah, and they both bring a lot back, and this has developed into quite the non-district rivalry in the Golden Triangle. You know, nobody's lined up to play West Orange, nobody's lined up to play Newton, and they're just like, you want to go? Let's do this. And they play every year, and it's almost always a competitive and close football game. You got West Orange Stark. What a running back matchup in this game.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
For West Orange Stark, you have Kelby Jefferson.
This is the running back matchup I'm comfortable saying. I haven't looked over all 760 games. Is the game of the year.
And then
or the week, rather.
For Newton, you've got Kendra Porter Jr., a.k.a. KJ Porter, the Houston commit. Just an unbelievable matchup. Now, they're not going against each other, but I think both of those guys are dynamic playmakers. I think Quaylen Dugas really had a great summer as well for West Orange throwing the ball in 7-on-7. If he can continue to mature as a passer, give that offense a little bit of balance, I think it's going to take a lot of the pressure off Kelby Jefferson. Because I think early people are just going to put 8 guys in the box and just say, okay, we're going to try to bottle up Kelby Jefferson, who's maybe the hardest guy in the state to tackle because he's a freaking fire hydrant.
Yeah.
He's 5'3" and squats like 600 pounds. And he's just how do you tackle that guy?
Yeah.
He's impossible to tackle. And then I love the West Orange Stark defense. And Terrian Fontenot, one of your favorite players in the state.
One of my dogs.
JaQuincy Walker in the secondary, a stout group. But then you got Newton in that Diamond 7 defense that they play, which is a really unique scheme. And it actually matches up. It's really designed to stop the run. And teams like they do a good job slowing down teams like West Orange Stark. Here's the X factor in this football game, in my opinion, and it's Newton's sophomore quarterback Isaiah Foster. Okay,
Started his title game as a freshman.
he started most of the season as a freshman, and for most of the year looked great. But in the state championship game, he looked like a freshman in that game. Okay,
Now, Wall had something to do with that.
yes, but he's had a full off season to develop. He has all that experience. If he develops and emerges and gives Newton that dynamic secondary option, man, Newton's going to be really tough to deal with in 3A Division II. I think I give the edge to the West Orange Stark Blue Link defense in this game. In a close one, this is on the road is going to be an absolute dogfight. But I think the West Orange Stark defense is what the edge here. And they're a bigger school. Again, it's another 2-division difference, right? Newton's 3A D2, West Orange is 4A Division II. I'm going to give the edge to West Orange because on the strength of that defense. But I think this is going to be if this game is like 21-17 or something, it would not. I think it's going to be another, like Ridgepoint Dickinson, a rock fight. Like, if you want 40, 44, 41, this ain't the game for you, brother.
No.
And if you want to see 50 passes a game, this ain't the game for you, brother. This game's going to be over with in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. And when you leave,
And everyone's going to be sore.
everybody's going to be sore in the training room on Saturday. I like West Orange Stark. This is going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I think I like West Orange Shark too. I think, again, the size, you kind of lean towards that, but I think this is going to be really, really fun to watch because I think that Newton, because of their explosiveness, can give West Orange Shark some trouble. Like, this is one of the few teams they'll play, they'll be as fast as they are, which is going to be fun. I'm going to go with another 4A versus 3A matchup, Matthew. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Eagle Stadium in Brock.
Oh, this is a great game.
It is a matchup of... Are they both Parker County? Where's
Springtown is kind of right on
Around
that.
the edge?
They're the school, I believe, is actually in Parker County, but it kind of bleeds into Tarrant County. And
I'm just going to say confidently, a Parker County showdown
there you go.
as the Brock Eagles
Call Brian Hewlett and ask him on the air what
take on
county Springtown is in.
the Brock Eagles welcome in
What a threat.
the Springtown Porcupines, and here's the we melted off the screen for VNA's
after
thing
last week is our hot
well,
takes,
that's good because this take was going to melt it off if it wasn't there. The best quarterback matchup of week 1.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong. Dude, I mean,
It's pretty good.
this is a great quarterback matchup.
Two of the most productive quarterbacks in the state last year.
You have got, for Pojo, for Springtown, you've got Kane Hill. 3-year starter, a guy who went for nearly 3,300 yards of total offense, 48 touchdowns last year. And by the way, he put up those numbers, and he wasn't necessarily playing 4 quarters.
Yeah, Springtown was in that Fort Worth ISD district last year, so a lot of games, Kane Hill was on the bench at halftime.
Yes. He was, and he's spectacular. And he's got weapons. That pilot Jerubis, or Grubus, I think it is. Their offense is going to be great.
Yeah.
On the other side, you got Holt Frazier. Okay? Holt Frazier.
That's the linebacker that's committed to Arizona, right? I'm sorry, Brock. Brock's quarterback.
Brock. I'm sorry, Brock's quarterback. It's Holt Frazier. All he did was have 50 touchdowns last year. Threw for 50 touchdowns. They got Brian McDonald back. They got a big
Great
tight
balance.
end in Davis Lee.
It feels like Brock's always got a really good... It's like Brock and Dickinson are two of the programs that just always have a great tight end.
But there's also great linebacker play. You mentioned, so the guy you're thinking of for Springtown is Rome Ewell.
Yes.
Their linebacker.
Yeah.
Arizona commit,
Yeah.
dog. There's 2 great linebackers on Brock. Hayden Waller and Jack Farhat.
Strength on strength here.
It's like they're looking in a mirror in a lot of ways. That is one of the things that I think is really, really fascinating about this ballgame is I think both of these teams also, they've got to figure out some holes, especially in the back end of their defense. And that's going to allow maybe for some pointsiness. Yeah. Even though I like these linebackers a lot, I think there could be some pointsiness.
Through the air.
Through the air, exactly right. Yeah. I think one of the questions we're going to have is how far has the Brock offensive line progressed? Because they're rebuilding some of that offensive line. I like Brock at home. In a little bit of an upset.
Okay.
But the reports out of their scrimmages have been really, really good.
I've heard some good things about Brock in their 2 scrimmages.
It's scrimmages. Well, I get it. Nobody wins a scrimmage.
Yeah.
But that's why we don't look at the scores. We ask people who were there.
Yeah.
And the reports out of Parker County from Brock have been very, very positive. I think Brock holds serve at home. I like Brock in a one-score game. And it could be, like I said, I think it might be pointsy.
I do agree it's going to be pointsy. I like Springtown, but I think this is going to be a really close, highly competitive football.
I think that is very true. It's going to be very competitive. And a lot of, like I said, great quarterback play here. Like, really, really good. Yeah. Like, two just super underrated, like, super productive quarterbacks. It'll be a lot of fun. What's your fourth matchup, Matthew?
Let's go to 7:30 Friday night at Ferris Stadium in San Antonio.
Ooh.
A little Austin versus San Antonio matchup.
This one snuck up on me.
It's because it's such a loaded week.
I know.
I am Austin Vandegrift taking the road trip down to San Antonio, Brennan. You have one of the best teams in Austin, one of the best teams in San Antonio. We always look at these 6A matchups when Austin and San Antonio get together. And this is like my first real kind of measuring stick game. We said it in the 6A preview on Tepp and stuff. We think San Antonio in 6A, at least in Division I, has a chance.
Has a chance.
They've closed the gap some. So let's see it if it's happened with Brennan. Now, Vandegrift last year, we talked to Drew Sanders at coaching school. Despite the fact they had all those injuries last year, they did still manage to get to the state semifinals and, by the way, beat Austin Westlake in the first round of the playoffs last year. Quarterback's the big question mark here. Who's going to play quarterback for the Vipers? Is it going to be senior athlete Gavin Custer, who missed all of last year? He's a natural wide receiver, in my opinion, but he can play the quarterback position. If he does move to quarterback, it really gives Vandegrift a unique dimension on the offensive side of the ball because of his ability in the QB run game. I like the running backs, Preston James, Evan Williamson. And we always know that Vandegrift's going to do two things. They're going to have a big offensive line, and they're going to be tough on the defensive side of the ball. Okay? You got Brennan. I think Brennan's front line talent is really special. Jay-Sean Mitchell is unbelievable. One of the most underrated running backs in the state of Texas. He works behind a big and physical offensive line. The defense, Jonas Brewster. Brennan always has a fast and physical defense. Aiden Martin in the back end of the secondary, the Utah commit, is a dynamic force in the secondary. But the offensive line for Vandegrift, I think, has a massive, massive edge over the Brennan defensive line. I think that's where this game, I think, comes down to and why I like Vandegrift on the road. I'm not going to hit the panic button on Brennan if they lose this game. I might hit it if they get blown out. I don't think they will, especially in San Antonio in their backyard. But I think the key here is I like Vandegrift on their offensive line having a big edge on the Brennan's defensive line is a little smallish, a little undersized. They're quick, but a little undersized. I think that's where the edge is here. So give me Vandegrift. I think it'll be a competitive, close game, so I won't hit the panic button on Brennan. But I think at least in round one of Austin v. San Antonio, the edge goes to the capital city.
I had to check on my picks script because I know I went back and forth on this one. I ended up settling on Brennan. I don't feel confident in it, but I think the home field advantage, and I think you're right. That top line talent, they remind me in a lot of ways, not necessarily in their style, but they remind me a lot like Pflugerville Weiss in the sense that their ones, I think you could put their ones against a lot of teams in Texas and they would hold up really well. Depth is going to be a question I have for Brennan in this game. I rolled with Brennan in the picks. I'm going to go with Brennan for consistency, but I think this is a tight game, and I think you're right. This would be a good opportunity for them to signal that gap has closed between San Antonio and Austin. My fourth pick, Matthew, is a game I cannot believe is still on the board with our eighth pick. 7. Oh, wait, don't say that, Greg. Make sure you get it right. 7 o'clock, I think it is. Let's make sure.
7 o'clock question mark?
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Load. 7 o'clock. Friday night at Crowley ISD Stadium. This is the eighth pick.
Yeah. This is 817 bragging rights right here. This is my kind of party right here.
It is a non-district game that many mock realignments had as a district game, but is instead a Week 1 non-district game and the most anticipated 6A debut in Texas high school football history as the North Crowley Panthers welcome in for their first game ever as a 6A program, the Aledo Bearcats.
It's going to be a fun atmosphere. I believe you can watch that game on the Dave Campbell's... What are we calling it? Dave
Texas
Campbell's
football, Texan Live.
Is it still Texan? Okay.
Still Texan Live for now.
Texan Live. Check this game out.
This is going to be saucy. I can say this. I think this is going to get chirpy. I think
these kids and communities are familiar with each other, and there's kind of some, Alito has been the big dog
in that part of the greater Fort Worth
for a long time. They've been the big dog. And North Crowley came along when Ray Gates got there 4 years ago, and slowly, and they got the state championship win. And now they've kind of unseated and taken that shine away from Alito, and this is Alito's chance to snatch it back and be like, "Hey, we're not dead yet. Like don't count us out of here. We are still a contender."
So I know I said this in the 6A preview, and I said in a lot of our classification previews. When you're moving up, the one question I have is how are you going to be in the trenches? Can you match up in the trenches? Because if you can't, then it's just not an issue. Here's the good news for Alito. Going to be great up front.
Yeah,
going to be great up front.
What's one place with Alito I never have concerns is offensive and defensive line.
Omari Dinambu, I think is his name. All right, I'm going to go with that.
His older brother was a really good, great wrestler, and I think he went to Washington State. Really good defensive tackle.
Timon Meeks, Grant Foreman, they're loaded. They're loaded up front. They've got some real... Okay, so Trey Williams is the former Louisville quarterback, now the quarterback at Alito. And... they are going to ask him to do a lot of different things at Alito than he did at Louisville. And that's one thing that I'm interested in watching.
Yeah.
How does he adjust to this scheme?
Because Alito's skill spots are young.
Yes,
so I think a lot of the offense is going to fall on Trey Williams' shoulder. Now, this is a guy who started 2 years in 6A football, and now is basically he's a 3-year starter. He's having to learn a new scheme. But I think there's going to be a little bit... A while back, Alito had a guy at quarterback named Broderick Newton. I don't know if you remember him or not.
I don't.
But they did a lot of. This was kind of the year that this was back when they lost to Dallas Lincoln, I think, in the semifinals that year. Early days of Alito in Class 5A, and they kind of basically the whole offense went through Newton. And I wonder if early on they're going to do the kind of the same, because that's not what Alito does. Alito's quarterbacks are usually distributors and not playmakers. They're usually getting the ball out to skill guys. I think they're going to flip it and go back to the Broderick Newton days where a lot of QB run game. A lot of offense is going to center around Trey Williams and his skill set.
It's why Hoss Haney was such an outlier for Alito. Because it's like, oh, wait, they've just got this like superstar blue chip athlete at quarterback, which is not some, with all due respect to all the Bishops who won a boatload of ball games and were really good.
They were facilitators.
They were facilitators.
Yeah.
And I think they'd say that.
And even Hoss Haney, he had a lot of great, now he made plays on his own, but he had a lot of great skill where he was able to be a facilitator who could make plays on his own. Where I think this year, especially early in the year, I think if it's not Trey Williams, then the Alito may struggle on the offensive side of the ball.
I think that you're right. Okay, so then there's North Crowley, who, by the way, also will have a new quarterback.
Yes,
in JT Torres, who was ineligible last year.
Correct. He started as a sophomore at Burleson Centennial,
sat out his junior year, and now is here as a senior.
Yes.
He does not have the Trey Williams issue.
No,
he has got dudes everywhere.
North Crowley's core of receivers might have a case to be one of the best in the state of Texas. They are loaded at receiver. They've got 2 big-time running backs. They've got a great tight end. Offensive line, a little bit of a question mark here, but I think they'll figure it out.
Their defense is going to be loaded as well, especially in the secondary.
Maybe the best secondary in the state.
Outhouse, Elijah Juan Houston, Brock Lacey.
The Cunningham kid, the starting for him was a freshman last year, already got a ton of Division I offers. Their secondary is loaded.
There are a lot of things I think that point to North Crowley in this game. They're at home. They've got fewer holes to fill. They're the bigger school. Like it's Alito's first game as a 6A. There's 2 big things. One, you mentioned the North Crowley offensive line. How do they stand up against what is going to be a very good Alito defensive line? And 2, I know he's been a head coach before, but and I know that he's not some new guy into the program. First game for DeMarcus Harris as the head coach.
Yeah, it's different when you're.
It'll be different.
It's different when you're in a big chair.
So, how do they handle all that? I still like North Crowley. I think North Crowley comes away with a win. We will learn a lot about because the funny thing about Alito is there are programs that if they start off slow, you're just like, don't worry, they're going to get a lot better as the season goes on. Alito, we are used to them being almost not a finished product, but being really good out of the chute.
Yeah.
So
even when they lose, they lose to Denton Guy. 2 years ago, they lost to Denton Guyer in week 1. It was a really close game.
And so for me, I'm going to have to rewire my brain and say it's okay. If they lose in week 1, You know what I mean?
Talking scrimmages, both these teams looked. North Crowley's had 2 scrimmages. That's another interesting edge. I think North Crowley does have an edge. They didn't do spring ball, so they had 2 scrimmages under their belts. I think they may be a little sharper early. Alito did spring football. They only had the 1 scrimmage, but I heard they looked really good against.
I heard they looked good against
Carroll,
I heard especially the defense looked really good against
that's
Carroll.
interesting too. Going into this game again, it's just a scrimmage, but it's things we can take as we look at week 1. But I think I like North Crowley. I think more experience, the 2 scrimmages under the belt. I think they'll be a little sharper early on, and I think they're going to be. I think North Crowley's got a point to prove, especially locally in that neighborhood, in that area. Alito's right down the road. That they want to plant their flag as the Fort Worth team.
There's some bragging rights on the line here, and could have been a district game.
Could have been.
Matt Stepp, what is your 5th and final pick of week 1?
7:00 Thursday night in Centerville.
What?
As the Axtell Longhorns take on the San Augustine Wolves in a game that I think could be a preview of the 2A Division I state championship game.
That is high praise. This is off my radar.
Axtell comes in. Levi Leathers at quarterback, the Arkansas baseball commit.
Hey, you do not need to talk me into talking about Levi Leathers.
11-2 last year, 7 starters back on both sides of the ball. They looked great during 7-on-7. They went to the state tournament and put on a show. Levi Leathers, 41 touchdowns last year, nearly 3,000 yards of offense. He's got great weapons around him. Yeah. AJ Fetch, primarily at receiver, up front. Big questions for the Longhorns up front on both sides of the ball, but they're in 2A Division I Region 2,
which is like the newly reloaded super region.
Yeah, which is now the super region. Yeah, but Axtell is.
I picked them to win it.
Thank you. So now I want to talk about the San Augustine Wolves, who this time a year ago they were trying to run head coach Torrey Barnes out of town. In fact, he kind of almost lost his job for a little while before he got reinstated. They basically were trying to non-renew him, and they just couldn't pull the trigger. Then he hauls off last year, goes 10-4, and they get to the regional finals. Okay, they have the Renfros back, Michael Renfro at quarterback, who had 21 touchdowns last year, and then you have DeAdrian Renfro, who's one of the best 2A players in East Texas. Speed for days at St. Augustine. Okay, they
remember when St. Augustine you just penciled them in as a regional champ.
Yeah, they had a run there
8 years or something.
18-19, they went to the semifinals back-to-back years, lost to Refugio and Shiner. They got a couple of key move-ins. One from IMG, Jamarius Cotton, I believe is his name, who was a freshman at center and has like offers from Alabama, like SEC offers to play on the offensive and defensive line. That you add him. His brother coaches at St. Augustine, so he's there now. And they added a fullback defensive lineman from Shepherd, who's also a really good player. So St. Augustine's got some kids that have added to their defense already brought back 8 starters. You add those 2 guys on the defensive line, which is where St. Augustine has struggled in the past, is in the offensive and defensive lines. I think St. Augustine, this is a statement opportunity for the Wolves going into this game. Axtell is really, really good, and they've got the difference maker in Levi Leathers, but let's see how these new pieces for St. Augustine, that's why I'm really interested in this game, because of the additions of St. Augustine. This is a neutral site game, almost like a playoff game. We're going to get a good look early on, because folks in East Texas are talking about St. Augustine as a state title contender. This is the chance to show. I think we know what we're going to get with Axtell. I think St. Augustine is a little bit of a mystery box, and I want to see how it all comes together on Thursday night in Centerville.
Okay. That's you've convinced me. You've talked me into it.
I like St. Augustine in a close one. I think it's going to be an entertaining, high-scoring football game.
You've talked me into it. I'm into it. You know how I feel about Levi Leathers. It's hard for me to pick against like one of my favorite players. But I think you've talked me into it.
I mean, listen, you're
St. Augustine's a team I just didn't know a ton about.
You're heading down to Houston on Friday. Why don't you just leave early Thursday and stop in Centerville and watch the game?
Okay. No, that'll go over real well with my wife. Like I'm already
honey. Listen, I love you.
It's week 1.
I got to go to Centerville. Small school Tepper. Listen, me and you will go to a random small school game on a Thursday.
We absolutely will. V&A will too.
That's right.
Did I tell you about the story of I was out. Hi, this is an aside. I'll get to my 5th and final pick here in a moment. My wife and I were out at dinner. This was like a month ago, and we were sitting on a patio, enjoying some chips and salsa. And I could
maybe a margarita.
I can't speak to that.
Okay.
and I can feel this. I can feel eyes on me.
Okay.
I can feel eyes on me.
And was it your wife's lovely eyes?
It wasn't my. She doesn't look at me. She doesn't look at me
What is she
anymore.
doing?
Anyway,
Yeah.
been married for 14 years.
When we were on vacation, my wife and I were on vacation last week. Somebody asked if we were going to take pictures of him because I've been married to him for 17 years. I don't need to take pictures of him
Exactly
anymore.
right. No, that's fine.
It's fair.
This couple gets to leave and they walk over to the table and they go, "Excuse me, I'm sorry." The guy goes he goes, "I'm sorry, are you with Dave Campbell's?" Like, "Hi, I'm Greg Tepper." And this does happen every once in a while. I'm not trying to puff out my chest here. It does happen.
What?
I get recognized and they're like, "Hey, are you with Dave Campbell's?" I'm like, "Yeah." Do you remember when we went to the Lindsay and Santo game?
Yes.
Do you remember the people at the very top of the stands who were complaining about who were yelling at the refs and stuff like that?
Yeah.
The very boisterous and stuff like that. He was one of those guys.
Nice. Should
And
have
his wife was just like, "Yeah,
Should have asked him who won the deer blind.
Yeah, I know. I should have asked him that. I was like, man, we ended up talking. He's a Lindsay, lives in Lindsay.
It was a Santo game, so you probably didn't know who won the deer blind.
We talked Lindsay football for quite a while.
That could be good.
Exactly right. Which brings me.
Oh, what an aside.
I bring you. Wait, where is this game? I forgot to look it up. 7:00 Friday night.
Forgot to look it up.
I did. Friday night in Lindsay at Knight Stadium.
The Kraut Bowl.
It is the Kraut Bowl. It's the Munster Hornets and the Lindsay Knights in one of the great rivalries.
It is a great
rivalry. It's two really good ball clubs. It is two ball clubs that are now in separate classifications.
Yeah, Munster moved up. Yeah,
Munster, the two-time defending state champs, move up to 2A Division 1. Lindsay, I think, falls into that pack of teams that,
you mean Region 3 Lindsay?
Region 3 Lindsay.
What?
So weird.
Lindsay is west of I-35.
Yeah.
And they're in Region 3.
It, choices were made. I'm just saying
never ceases to surprise us.
that choices were made. Okay. So, two teams, and the one thing that you will say about this rivalry, it's weird to say this. This is what I would call a respectful rivalry.
Yeah, it's not a
This
lot
is
of
not
that.
some blood feud.
No.
These two towns are 6 miles apart. They all go to the same churches. You know what I mean? There's not this. They're basically one community that is separated by 6.
They're all they're dating. There's households where it's Munster. One spouse is Munster, one spouse is Lindsay. They all go to the same. Hey, Catholics back on top. It's a big
Catholics
yeah.
back on top, baby. Okay,
Catholics back on top.
That's the biggest thing. That's the reason for doing. This Lindsay team falls into that category of oh wait, everyone's gone. Let's make a break for it. Let's make a break for the title game. They've got to replace Lane Foster, who was such a stud for them.
He
last
was,
year.
man.
He was so good for them. I remember we loved watching.
He got the Dog in Him award.
He did.
By the way,
But,
that's returning again this year.
But I think yes, it has. We've renewed the contract. I think they're gonna. But Stunner, I think Lindsay's gonna run the ball a lot. Kason Williford and Mason Myers kind of leading the way. It is a new day for the Munster Hornets, not just because they're in 2A Division 1, but that's certainly helpful. But Case and Carney.
For the first time in 4 years, someone other than Case and Carney will be quarterback.
Off to playing Hardin Simmons.
Nice. Okay.
So Ray called on. Carter Heller is the new quarterback.
Okay. Big shoes to fill.
And they bring back 8 starters total. They still have that stud receiver Maverick Byer, who is such a dog for them. But I think that a lot of it's going to fall on that defense led by Brady Clement to hold them in early. These are two teams that are both to use NBA terms, they lost their franchise player. You know what I mean? Whether it was Lane Foster or it was Case and Carney, they lost their franchise player. How far are they along in the redevelopment of what the program looks like?
Sure.
I think I like Munster. Munster's kind of had Lindsay's number recently. I ain't going to pick against history.
And I think because both of them lost, if Lane Foster was back for Lindsay, I think you'd probably take Lindsay.
I think you would.
But I think they were. If you take the two best players away, Munster was the better team last year. I think you kind of have.
I think that's what I would do. I think it kind of cancels each other out. I like Munster in another great Kraut Bowl up there.
Be a big crowd.
It'll be a lot of fun up there. Catholics back on top. So there it is. There's our week 1 game draft. Stepp took South Oak Cliff, Regiment Randall, Allen Duncanville, West Orange Shark Newton, Austin Vandergrift and San Antonio Brennan, and Axel San Augustine. I took Dickinson Ridgepoint, Bay City Columbus, Springtown Brock, Aledo North Crowley, and Munster and Lindsay. So those are my picks.
Yeah.
I guess that's it, right?
I mean, there's some games. Jinx and Southlake Carroll didn't get picked.
Yeah, I just like
Harker Heights and Hutto.
Harker Heights and Hutto is the cut the breaks game of the week.
Longview and Lufkin. Paladuro and Amarillo High.
Paladuro and Amarillo High is going to be a lot of fun too. The other one that I had on my I had a few on my list. I mean, we didn't
Kilgore Pleasant Grove.
Kilgore Pleasant Grove didn't get taken. I'm really interested in Gilmer and Pine Tree. That's a super interesting game.
La Vega and Franklin.
West Plains and Wall.
Yeah, just
really, it's a
Hamilton
huge,
and Bremond.
Yeah.
Ganado and Tidehaven.
It's a huge week.
We could have gone 10 rounds today.
Like remember this whenever it's week 6.
Yeah,
and we're just like scratching, clawing at games.
Just like
it's like, oh my god. La Villa Santa Rosa is a really good game in the Valley. Okay, it's now time for the hipster game of the week. This is a game that's off the beaten path that maybe you don't know is happening or you're unaware that you should be paying attention to. Matt Stepp, what is your hipster game of the week?
Friday night, 7:00 in Pilot Point. Give me Peaster at Pilot Point.
Okay.
For Peaster, great year last year, all the way to the state semifinals. Graduated really heavy, especially that defense for Peaster was really, really good last year. They graduated 8 starters. So I want to see what that defense looks like. And then the offense, they were going to lean heavily on Hudson Salyers, the 1,400-yard running back, but in running behind the offensive line with 4 returning starters, but he transferred to Marble Falls. His dad got hired as the baseball coach at Marble Falls. So I think a lot more of the offense is going to fall on Luke Gray, the quarterback. He's working behind that veteran offensive line, but they're going to have their hands full of Pilot Point. Chad Worrell's ball club, I think, he took over when he took over. They were in total disarray. They were 0-10 before he got there. They went 4-8 in year 1. Last year, 9-3 area finalists. They bring back a great base of talent, 6 starters on both sides of the ball. Josh Chumley, outstanding running back. And they've got a quarterback who I thought looked great in 7-on-7. Talking to Coach Worrell, I think they are going to throw the ball a little bit more this year. So that balance. So I want to see what this new Pilot Point, they're still going to run their system, and they're going to run the football, but they are going to throw it a little bit more. So let's see how this new offense looks against a Peaster defense that was really young that's really young going into the season, but was really productive last year. So excited for these 2 really good 3A Division I teams to go at it. These are 2 teams that I think are 3rd, 4th round type teams going at it in the first week of the season.
It's a very good pick. Matt Stepp, my hipster game of the week. 7:00 Friday night at Berry Field in Hondo.
Yeah.
It is a matchup of unbeatens as the Ingram Moore Warriors out of Tom Moore High School take on
Region 1 Ingram
Region
Moore.
1 Ingram Moore
again
west of 35.
Jamie Harris and you devil you just throwing us off here.
Ingram Moore takes on the Hondo Owls. And there's a couple of questions we're going to answer in this one. One, is it time to buy a little stock in Hondo? They were a team that went 8-3 last year, made it to the playoffs. They are now in a 4th year under Dustin, or a 4th or 5th year under Dustin Templin. They love what they've got, especially on the defensive side with guys like Andrew Tapia and Colton Weimers. They love what they have there. That's one question. The other question is, Ingram Moore, you got any more of that 2025 magic?
Yeah. I mean,
because
they were one of the great stories of 2025.
One of the great Texas high school football stories.
Yeah.
Where obviously the devastating July 4th floods, their town is devastated. It's ground zero for these floods. They haul off and have what can only be described as a magic run to the regional semifinals?
Best season in school history.
Yes, best season in school history. I don't think that they hadn't won a playoff game in 40 years or something. It's crazy.
Won 2, yeah.
And there's reason to believe they could do it again.
Yeah.
8 starters back on both sides of the ball. Logan Spalding, their quarterback, is back. They love what they've got there. A defense led by Will Sim. Tough realignment draw.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons.
Yeah, Lano and Wall, and they're going Region 1.
Yes. Here's a test going on the road to a team we think is on the come up in Hondo. Go out there and show that last year was
a bigger school. Hondo's 4A Division 2, so it's a bigger.
No, Hondo's 3A.
They dropped down to 3A.
They dropped to 3A. So that's another thing. Dropping down.
Yeah.
Can they? A lot to learn about that part of the world.
Yeah, Berry Field's a great venue for this game too. That's a great stadium there, at just west of San Antonio.
So that is my hipster game of the week: Hondo and Ingram Tumble.
On this subject, I didn't have a chance. Just want to send my condolences to the East Bernard community and Lake Travis community. I was out. And I know you addressed on Texas Football today. Just want to make sure I send my condolences to Lake Travis and East Bernard.
Yeah, what an awful, two awful stories.
Yeah.
Just like, it's right, especially right on the cusp of football season. It'll be Lake Travis. Obviously, if you didn't hear, Lake Travis canceled their game against Dripping Springs in week 1. Yes, of course,
I get it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now East Bernard, I've been told they're
going to play
on playing against Sweetie, so they're going to give it a go. Yeah. So thoughts to them and that community as well. Coach Jenkins and his lovely wife and their passing and just
terrible.
Good vibes to them. So I know that's a kind of you want to do a hard divide, but I didn't have a chance to do that unless I want to make sure.
Thank you for saying that.
Yep. Hard divide.
Let's go to V&A Moreno to find out
where we're going this week first.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Come on.
I'm all out of order.
Yeah. Tell us where you're headed this week first.
So this is so funny. I know I've said this on the air. For the first time, literally in my career here at Dave Campbell's, I am going to consistently go to Friday night football games.
I know you're excited.
I'm excited. I'm fired up because I've been in studios basically for my entire career here. But I will be on the call for Dickinson and Fort Bend Ridgepoint on the Dave Campbell's Friday Night Football.
You and Greg Powers.
Presented by Huntington Bank. Yeah. It'll be great. Me and Greg Powers. Yeah. Normally it'll be you and I.
Yeah.
I'll miss you desperately.
Yes, I cannot attend. I have President Business. I will still be at football games, but I have business matters to attend to.
Powers is trying to talk me into House of Pies afterwards. Oh, because we're going to get most of the drive out of the way. We're going to go up towards. We're staying in Conroe.
Yeah.
And so he's.
Why don't you send Dick? If there's a good place to eat in Dickinson, send it to Tepper.
Holler at me. Let me know. It'll be great.
Okay.
So I'll be at Dickinson and Ridgepoint, and I won't apologize. I'm gonna be having fun.
So I'm traveling for my big boy job, but I will be in the state, so I'll be at games. Thursday night, I will be at the Howard County Super Bowl in Big Spring as Kahoma takes on Forsan in a fun rivalry game that takes place every year, week 1. It's a big deal out there. Looking forward to that. I'm staying in San Angelo, so I get to go eat at Original Henry's and eat a chicken fried steak with the best gravy in the world. It looks like queso. Mm-hmm. Did I ever tell you that story?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's a great story. I'll tell V&A the story. Original Henry's orange chicken fried steak.
I really can't stress enough.
Chicken fried steak.
Again, it's worth remembering. Hi, if you're a new listener to Tep and Stepp. Stepp, I never tell him where to go to games. Mm-hmm. Never. I've never assigned you a game. You can go to any game you want. And you are at the Howard County Super Bowl.
This one is just because I happen to be out that way for my day job, and that's the only Thursday night game out there.
Well, there you go.
Friday night, I'm going to visit a new stadium in San Antonio that I've never been to. So I'm going to San Antonio because I have business stuff Saturday in San Antonio for my day job.
Stadium in San Antonio.
Oh, it's not a new stadium; it's a new stadium.
New to you? Okay, I was like,
it's the debut of head coach Brad Smithy at Victoria East as they take on San Antonio Southwest, moving up to Class 6A. Southwest has a really cool stadium. It's kind of down in a riverbed. So it's still natural grass because it's so close to the river and it floods, they can't get insurance to get turf. So it's like, and apparently when it does rain and the river floods, there are snakes on the field. So it's a cool.
We're back, babies!
Oh my God.
San Antonio Southwest, I'm looking for, and I've already been, apparently the Southwest, Coach Alejandro Franco at Southwest has promised me street tacos made by the soccer team. So
what?
Guys,
that's why I'm going.
Listen,
really.
Let's be real, okay? All the other stuff is window dressing. We know what he's doing.
Oh my gosh!
And then Saturday, I will stay in San Antonio. I'm going to a big rivalry game, Brandeis and O'Connor at Ferris Stadium. They call it the Whataburger Bowl because 8 to 10 years ago, Brandeis and O'Connor, their student sections, they got into a giant food fight at a local Whataburger.
Remember this story.
And the Whataburger was closed for like 2 days because of the cleanup. So our friends at Whataburger, we don't encourage that, but go to Whataburger postgame. But yeah, Brandeis and O'Connor Saturday night for me. So that's my week 1. Then next week when we announce our Friday night game, we'll be able to have my debut on the Friday night show.
We're going to the Polynesian Bowl. We'll be in Hawaii.
Yeah, we're going to Hawaii.
That's what we're doing.
Me, Tepper, and Powers. We're going to Hawaii.
Let's go to V&A Moreno to find out what she wrote down, because you will be producing. People don't know this. You're producing the studio side.
Super excited
of
for V&A.
You're producing the studio side of the Dave Campbell's Friday Night Football.
We got to get her out to a Thursday game at some point.
We have to find a Thursday game.
Once I find my rhythm, I will sneak away because I do want to be out.
Yeah, we gotta find our Tep and Step Thursday night dumb game of the week.
I already have one.
You got one?
Really?
It's in East Texas.
You got one in the chamber?
It's later in the season, but yeah, I got one.
Oh, that's okay. Lindsay and Santos were in the season. Like week 9,
it was like week 9 or 10.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Down.
Vienna?
Hey guys, y'all kept it very on track today. I feel like
we have structure now. Like,
yeah, y'all do.
We have guardrails.
Yeah, I know.
The season.
Oh my gosh, this is going great. Okay. The very first thing I wrote down was that onion volcanoes will never be the same.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. CoverZeroAnalytics.com.
Yeah.
And then Stepp getting a big check.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, can you imagine like if we ever get another title sponsor and then like we just decide to do like the same thing we've done to Cover Zero Analytics and they're not as cool as Cover Zero Analytics
Yeah.
and they're like, we're pulling our money.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cover Zero Analytics.
I may have to get Clayton and Brett to come in here and do the ad reads.
Yeah, exactly. Real professional.
Finally, the Kraut Bowl returns.
That's right. One of the great rivalries.
Matchup.
I mean, by the way, speaking of which, like one of the great rivalries in Texas high school football happening this week in Cuero and Yoakum down in DeWitt County.
Sherman Dennison is this week too.
Sherman Dennison's this week. Battle of the Axe. It's a big week, guys.
Yeah.
Get out to a game.
Oh my gosh.
Or stream them.
We're in it.
We're here. We're here. We made it. That is going to do it for us. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Thanks to Vianney Moreno for listening to us and putting up with us.
Yep. Check out Thursday night Rising Game of the Week live on YouTube.
Woo-hoo.
Fort Bend Hightower against Cy Ranch.
That's a
for
super
free
good game.
with Carter Yates and Greg Powers and Chase Snyder on the call.
Trevor Bullard
on the call for that game Thursday night. Then Friday night, stay on Dave Campbell's YouTube. Tepper and Powers on the call, the Huntington Bank Friday night game of the week.
Let's go.
Ridge Point at Dickinson.
Thanks to Vianney Moreno. Stepp, thanks for your courage.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next week on Tep and Stepp.
Goodbye.